If you ask the pros, what is the best character in the game, they will tell you idiotic things like, oh, it depends on team comp, and oh, what time of the game is it? I call Croc. The only way to determine the best hero in the game is through a 6v6 mono-hero single elimination tournament. That is the only 100% fair way. Today's match?
Vindicta versus Lash. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for another exciting match of One Trick Championship. This tournament has been full of surprises, and this is going to be one of its most interesting games. Vindicta versus Lash, both incredibly powerful characters, very, very commonly seen in competitive games. Oh, we see the Lash is coming in with those swoops, trying to get a pick. Okay, so here's the thing. Lashes and Vindictas is actually one of the games that's been discussed a lot in the Discord. And there just doesn't seem to be an agreement who has an immediate edge. Is it the Lashes or the Vindictas? A lot of people have been talking about how ethereal shift, knockdowns, debuff removers, and everything in between are stuff that you're going to see so often in this match. And it doesn't surprise me at all. Those are all great, great abilities to have. So we're going to see how this one goes. I think it's going to be more equal than most matches that we've seen so far. Now, you are not seeing a Curse co-cast with me for a second game in a row. And this is not because we hate a Curse. It is because a Curse is actually playing in the game. He is one of the Lashes. He is allegedly a Lash main. So we'll see how he performs, and we'll see if we need to mock him after tonight. Okay? Anyhow. Let's talk a little bit about early late. So both of these characters have some interesting early game problems that they need to solve. For the Vindictas, they're pretty squishy. If they're caught out of position, they will die very, very quickly. But the Vindictas have amazing damage output, and they also have snipe. One of the most impactful ults in laning is snipe without a shadow of a doubt. It's just so powerful to have that snipe coming in, because it's very easy in lane to be at the 150 to 100 health bar. Like, look at how many of the Lashes are here just because of crows, a couple of pokings, whatever, right? It is just so easy for the Vindictas to get the 3k, and suddenly you have to hide. Healing rights are plenty are gonna be taken this game. But yeah, that's gonna be one big problem for the Vindictas, for the Lashes to solve. The other big problem? Oh yeah, that was a very good Lash attack. What is it called again? It's Ground Strike. Ground Strike, that's the actual name. Anyhow, the Lashes are gonna have, that is a big problem to solve, but the other big problem to solve, their guns are kind of crap. They're not the best guns in the game. They're not gonna be able to deny as easily as a Vindicta would. And they're also not great guns overall. Like, they don't do enough damage. But you know what's the one thing that they do very well? The Lashes do a lot of damage. Because the biggest advantage that the Lashes have is big damage coming in. Yeah, is exactly that. The Lashes damage scales with how high they are. Not in terms of weed or other certain illicit substances, but how high they are in the sky. So it is very easy for them to do a lot of damage without requiring a lot of items. They just have to get higher. Oh, look at this pause lock moment. Look at this pause lock moment, ladies and gents. Look at this. Brilliant. I am not looking at the chat right now because I noticed that my observation setup is not good. But I'm sure the chat is looking at this moment. Anyhow, let's look a little bit of the early build for the Lashes. What are they building? Gun items, gun items, gun items. Ooh, very nice. And first, Enchanter's Bear. Getting ready for that snipe. Enchanter's Bear is going to be very helpful for that. The Vins, pretty normal stuff. We see high velocity mag. They're pretty core. Pretty core, you want to have that early deny advantage. And we do already see the Vindictas have a little bit of an early lead. Not a significant lead, just 1k. But yeah, especially in the mid lane. The mid lane seems to be struggling the most. Is that the lane that has a curse in it? That's interesting. Anyhow, first pick on the Vindictas on the Lash's side. Doesn't surprise me that it's Manuel. Manuel is a big friend of the channel. He's been in a bunch of games. He was in the McGinnis game, if I recall correctly. He's been in a whole bunch of Eternus versus Initiates. And yeah, he's just a great guy overall. So we really, really like Manuel. But yeah, if I were to be told, who do you think has an edge in this fight? I think it's the Lashes. I think the Lashes will have, after the early game is over, they're going to have a huge advantage of being to just run around. How are you going to tether a Lash that's up in the sky, right? How are you going to crow if Lash was just like moving above you? So I think the Vindictas are going to have to figure out how they're going to do that. I think the Lashes do have an advantage. However, in the early game, the Vindictas just have a huge advantage. Once 3k hits, and it's already hit in lane number 3, it's going to be a very, very, very big hassle to figure out how you're going to survive as a Lash. Well, these guys are good. These guys are good players. They're not going to miss their snipes. If you're ever in a low state, if you're ever like struggling, yeah. Ooh, but the first bash comes in, and that's just a lot of damage. The Vindictas are all going to be in the sky, which makes them really vulnerable to those Lash ults. Yes. Oh, but yeah, see, the snipes are coming in, and suddenly it's irrelevant that you managed to like grab that Vindicta and throw her out of position. It's gonna be just very tough for you to counterattack. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this develops. The soul lead's pretty equal right now, and yeah, there's also a lot of questions, like for example. How do these Lashes coordinate with one another, right? Like, how many ults do you need? Can you, like, Lash ult into Lash ult into Lash ult into Lash ult? We saw it with the Paradoxes, where the Paradox would daisy chain their swaps and the shivs would just get destroyed. But the Lash ult can grab not just one player. A good Lash ult can grab all 6 of these Vindictas. So it's going to be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult to... That's a crime. It's going to be very, very difficult to counterattack as a Vindictas, because sure, you're going to have your first ethereal shift, right? But how many ethereal shifts are you going to have? Yeah. These flights are going to be such a hassle. But yeah, the Lash... So for people who don't know, you can use your ground strike as Lash as a way to easily... to get a character from up in the air, right? This is going to be one of the core strengths of the character, right? It's just very difficult to get these movements, but at Eternus level, you just know how to wall jump, you know how to like use your momentum, and do something like that. Yeah, exactly what you need to do. And suddenly your flight does not matter like at all, right? You're vulnerable. And if there's 2 Lashes doing it, there's a lot of damage coming in. Lash is a very burst-heavy character. Vindictas, you know, they deal a lot of DPS, but they're not like an incredibly burst-heavy character. They have their crows, which deal damage over the course of a fight. They have their guns, which, you know, very high damage, right? But they're not going to kill you like in 3 seconds. It's going to take like, you know, 8 seconds of shooting or however many seconds of constant shooting. And the Lashes, on the other hand, are very bursty. If they catch you out of position, they will ground strike you, and then they will flog you, and then they might even punch you afterwards. But yeah, these stunts are going to be so valuable. And I think the big early game advantage that the Vindictas have is being nullified right now. The Lashes have a 5k lead already, which is very significant. And yeah, the Vindictas have 6 snipes that are active. But what are you going to do? The Lashes are just going to flog heal back. However, the Lashes do have a very bad gun, as was discussed earlier. This is going to be a little bit more... Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like chains of ults. And suddenly you're going to be caught out of position. Yeah. It is... yeah, the Lashes don't have good guns, so it's going to be a bit hard for them to push into these Guardians, right? I'm very curious how the builds are going to develop. We already see Mystic Shot from one of the Lashes to get that DPS going. And, yeah. Going very deep, very good wall boost there. But 2 Vindictas is going to be very difficult to contest. Lash is not a great character up close. Back when you had like the top ledge in that bridge that we see right now on screen, there used to be a platform where Lash could jump and just like continuously ground strike you. back when that was happening, the pros were not afraid of it. They would just send something like a Mo up there and tell you the Lash was completely useless. Lash is not that fantastic in these like close quarter situations in tiny spaces. They have high mobility. They have the ability to burst pretty quickly once they get enough tools. But in early game, they're just gonna struggle against two Vindictas just looking at them. Yeah. Another thing worth noting that might impact the balance of the game is that Vindicta's ult recharges pretty quickly compared to Lash's ult. I think, can you please confirm, Uni? I think the Lash ult's like more than 100 seconds to redo. It is 140 seconds, which is a very significant amount of time. Assassinates recharge every 34 seconds, and you can get extra charges for them. You're seldom going to be without an Assassinate as a Vindicta unless there's a big fight going on. But yeah, this is like the big strength that we were talking about. You take the Lashes low and suddenly, poof, one snipe, all that it takes, you kill them, you win the battle, right? And we do see that the early game advantage that the Lashes had slightly nullified. Only a 1k difference right now. We do see the Vindictas have managed to pick the first Guardian. Vindictas have a lot of DPS, and if you kill the Lashes, it's just difficult. Oh, only one Vin got here. And two Lash ults. Yeah, like Lash ult. Yeah, we're going to see this all over the game. We're probably going to see somewhat early refreshers coming from the Lashes just for the ability to take hold of the Vindictas out of position. The usual approach when you have a Lash ult coming towards you is just to like quickly hide, maybe use Warp Stone if you have that as part of your tech, and try not to get Lash ulted. Stone Form for Ivy, whatever tech is necessary. On the other hand, if you are Vindicta, what are you gonna do? You're in the sky. There's no cover for you. That's easy, right? I guess you could position yourself a bit more, but yeah, it's just gonna be a lot more difficult for you to hide. So yeah, the tethers are missing. Like this is like one thing that we're gonna see all over this game. The strongest tool that the Vindictas have is the tether usually, because imagine having like 6 Vindictas tethering you one tether after a tether after a tether after a tether. Well, you're not gonna see that because these Vindictas are not gonna be able to tether the Lashes just flying around. It's gonna be hard for you to get them. It's gonna be hard for you to snipe them. So yeah, Lashes 5k lead. They do get their first Guardian, I want to say, yeah, we're gonna see a little bit more flexibility coming in from the Lashes now. Lashes are pretty good at ganking because, as we said, they have a lot of burst damage, right? So yeah, like very, very good. Yeah, that's gonna be the game. The Vindictas just want to back over and over again, do as much damage as they can, take these longer engagement. The Lashes just want to burst in and out. 2 light punches, good enough to kill a Vin. Okay, yeah, this game is quite enjoyable. The Lashes have developed an early lead. Lashes are who I think is the edge here, as reminded, but I wouldn't count the Vindictas out yet. I think we're gonna start seeing those very early ethereal shifts very shortly. These Lash ults have become annoying. Are we gonna see an early urn? Ooh, that hit into parry. What a game! What a nice reaction speed coming right there. Oh, the Lash is pretty low. He might die to crows here. Nope, he does not. I think crows are a percentage of your max HP. Sorry, of your current HP, so I don't think you can die to crows unless you are at like 1 HP for some reason. Like, otherwise, I think you just survive with 1 HP. I could be wrong. I need to check the item description, but not right now. Right now, we have this amazing game. So, yeah, the Vindictas have now almost 15k disadvantage. I think that the Vindictas did not materialize to early game well. And is that an urn being picked right now? Yes, it is an urn being picked right now. So, urn is interesting. Now, the reason why urn is interesting for the Lashes is because Lashes have very good urn denial possibility, but it is one place where you have to be very static, which is like the one thing that you don't want to do as Lash in this game. You're gonna see 6 tethers coming towards the urn spot, and you're just gonna be stuck with Vindictas headshotting you from above. So it's gonna be really, really difficult to balance it out. Yeah, those Lash ults Lash ult into Lash ult into Lash ult. We keep seeing this. Is really funny. Yeah, the Lashes know that they cannot easily go inside that urn location. They're gonna have to take the bigger fight here. The Vindictas are one down, so the Lashes should have an advantage here. They both have a soul lead, and another Vindicta goes down.
Stick around.
Perfect. Alright. The troopers get a guardian in the meantime. That's pretty nice. They keep hovering around with the urn, and there's no Vindictas there. The Lashes can just hand it in. And the soul lead for the Lashes go up to 10-20k. I'm a bit surprised. I did think the Lashes had an edge entering into this format. And let's be very clear. These guys are really good players. We see incredible like Eternuses from both sides. We have Manuel on the Lash side. We have Naked, who plays for LARP Lords on the Lash side. We have Q from the Vindictas. We have X-Stars, I think, is also one of the Vindictas. So yeah, these are really good players. It's a lot of it has to do with individual matchups. It's not like, oh yeah, we picked a bunch of Initiates to play against these Eternuses. That's a different series. You should check out our Eternus versus Initiate games. But it is just a bit of a matchup problem. And yeah, I'm surprised though, because I did anticipate the Lashes having an edge in this matchup. But by God, they're like almost 20k ahead this early in the game. It doesn't bode well for the Vindictas. Vindictas are very good at getting an early game lead, so I anticipated that it would be like a comeback sort of game for the Lashes. Regardless, we will see how the game develops. The next urn is online, and the next urn is Vindicta's urn. And I don't know if the Lashes are going to be able to easily contest that. The walkers, in a way, act as, let's say like a pillar for the urn, right? Once you have those two walkers, it's just harder for you to contest the urn. You're going to be deeper in enemy lines. You're not going to have the ability to back up quickly. You're not going to have minions. You're not going to have waves pushing in, right? So it just becomes very difficult to push the urn. And the Vindictas know that they have to grab urn, that they have to grab it quickly. So the Lashes are just staying around urn and getting picks, Vindicta after Vindicta after Vindicta. Okay, they've given up. They're just going for the urn. And these Lashes, ladies and gents, are probably going to be able to deliver that urn. Lash is just a very good anti-urn ability. And if this Walker also dies, it's really bad. That's like one of your core anchors to make sure that you survive the urn. But yeah. It's gonna be very difficult to come back once you lose those walkers, because you just don't have the ability to push lanes. Yeah! This ult into ult thing is just gonna be fantastic. Was there two ults activated there? Actually, I'm not sure. It might have been just a ground strike. But yeah. Do we have any ethereal shifts from the Vindictas yet? No. One ethereal shift. Yeah. One of the people that we were discussing with earlier in the game, earlier in the chat before the game started, was like, yeah, the Vindictas are all going to pick E-Shift and the Lash ults are going to suck. Well, where are they? Where are the E-Shifts, ladies and gents? Yeah, these Lashes now have an incredible soul lead, and they're doing just so much burst. Another Walker goes down, and the soul lead keeps amplifying itself. Yeah, the first games of this format are gonna be like this, in a way, right? Until we figure out who the strong laners are, and there's also a question of who you're against. Oh yeah, this was a big strength of Vindictas. Once they have you on a 4v1, you're tethered, you're in a bad spot. 4 Vindictas headshotting you, you'll die in 3 seconds. Vindictas have a bullet shred resist in their crow. So it's just, you're gonna get so much damage coming your way, even though the Vindictas are down in souls. But yeah, good luck catching the Lashes in this sort of position. One pick, yeah, okay, that Lash might be slightly dead. No, he is out. The debuff remover doing wonders there. How many Lashes have debuff removers is the question right now, Uni. Debuff reducer, nothing. Debuff remover, nothing. Okay, a couple debuff reducers and one debuff remover. Okay. So yeah, Is Occurs performing well? We need to check. 613. He's performing fairly well. Okay, we take that. We love Occurs in this household. Okay, so here's the question. We have established that the Lashes have an early lead. What does a comeback look like for the Vindictas? Ethereal shift, ethereal shift, ethereal shift. Knockdown, knockdown, knockdown. I think that's what it looks like. Just balance yourself, play around the walkers, try to trade picks. I mean, trading when you're behind is good, right? Because you're just going to be denying a person with a lot more souls than you the right to farm and the right to hit your teammates. So it's not bad. Yeah. So what does the comeback look like? It's very item-based. The Vindictas need enough space to get ethereal shifts. They need enough space to get those knockdowns. They need enough space to get those debuff removers. And suddenly they're going to stand a chance. Those Lashes are going to struggle with objectives a bit. Of course, I see a bunch of Lashes that have gone more gun build oriented stuff. We see Pristine Emblem and Long Shot, Long Range, or whatever it's called. Now, Long Range is one of the best items in the game, period. And you're like, Long Range? Why would that be a good item? I can barely aim from more than 5 feet away. Well, Long Range gives you a 50% weapon damage if you shoot at something 15 meters away or more. And like, you would think, oh, 50 meters, that's a lot. No, it's like that farm that we just saw, next farm. That's enough for like 15 meters. Ooh, big grab, 2 Vindictas coming in. That Vindictas at 20 health, and that's not gonna be enough to save her. But yeah, that it means that the Lashes have a shit ton of gun damage in one 1250 item. Yes, they're not gonna be able to like increase gun damage or like massively outtrade the Vindictas, but that doesn't matter. You just need enough damage to beat objectives. Screw getting the actual Vindictas, right? You just want to push objective, push objective, push objective, and force them to take that 6v6, which is when Vindictas are weakest, right? When the 6v6 is happening and you can ult all the time. Yeah. Those ethereal shifts are helping, but they would have been better earlier. And it's not that the Vindictas didn't get them because they're dumb players, it's just they didn't have the soul lead to get them. You usually get the soul lead as a Vindicta by sniping. If you kill somebody with a snipe, you get an incredible amount of souls from them. Can you please confirm? Like, something like 600 souls or very high amount. You get 250 souls and you get 600 bonus souls if you max your ult. So it's like 850 souls per kill if you max your ult, and that's very, very powerful amount of damage. Anyhow, the siege has started. The Lashes are not attempting mid, which is interesting. Lash ult is one of the best anti-mid ults. I think they're just very confident they can get picks here, and they did get those picks. Yeah, the Lash ults are coming in clutch. I think it's incredible to see them. Now, what are the Lashes going to do? They're probably going to get Patron. Aren't they going to back out? Ult-wise, they will have 2 ults to fight the Patron. I'm surprised they're just backing. I guess they're like just stealing farm at this point. Do they need farm? They're 50k ahead. And you don't want to give Vindictas breathing room. Because if you give Vindictas breathing room right now, they're going to get the tools that they need to survive. I mean, look at the highest Vindicta right now. The 22k Vindicta. Let's see what her items are. The Rainer. The Rainer is building Ethereal Shift already, right? Like, the more souls the Vindictas have, the more are they going to prioritize stuff like Ethereal Shift. And if you give them that breathing space, that might be enough for the Vindictas to come back. This is maybe when you should strike. You should not let the game go, like, much, much deeper. But maybe I'm just saying croc, you know? It's like, they're 50k ahead. They can do whatever they want. They can do mids. They can do all the farms. They can practice wall jumping. Yeah, this Lash is just here. He's vibing. Alright. Yeah, they've stolen a lot of farm. Amplifying their lead. Making sure the Vindictas don't have a comeback in case the fight goes bad. But, yeah. Are we gonna see a mid? Maybe that's what you do? You go and grab mid? Shadow Weave Stealth coming in! Oh, that's an interesting tech choice. It makes some sense. You want to sneak in on those Vindictas. Is this the sort of game where you might go for something like Is this the sort of game that where you might go for something like what's it called, Veil Walker? Is that the sort of Veil Walker game? Because normally it's not great, but I mean you're such an edge and you like that invisibility. Maybe you just like it more under your control with Shadow Weave Stealth. Also, another good thing we're talking about the Whale Walker is that Vindictas have a shit ton of bullet shred with their abilities. Oh, unstoppable. Okay, that's like better. That's like one way to solve your core problem. Just get unstoppables. That enables you to not get lash ult after lash ult after lash ult. The moment you hear those bells, you press your unstoppable button and you're fine. But yeah, it's not just one Vindicta that needs it, it's every Vindicta. But yeah, we will see. I would be very curious to see if there's going to be enough time for the Vindictas to get ult. But no, 2 Vindictas picked, and the Lashes are just going to advance. Yeah. Now, 3 Vindictas versus 2 Lashes. 1 Lash is very low. I presume he's backing. He's well within snipe range. Yeah, 1 Lash is still there. He's just vibing. He thinks he can get more. He's wrong. That Vindicta survived with like what? Oh, it was naked, of course. No, we love everybody. We love everybody. It's just interesting. It's a question of coordinations. Like, oh, you're convinced you can get 1 more Vindicta, 1 more whatever, and you're 50k ahead. Might as well give it a shot, right? Do we see any refreshers from the Lashes yet? Their ult has been just such a powerful tool. No, no. 1 refresher. Okay. Oh, was Naked the one who was using Shadow Wave? Interesting. Was... Anyhow, the Unstoppable! Withering Whip, also very interesting tech. I like Withering Whip a lot. Vindictas are going to rely on their guns at the end of the day. So, ooh, the Vindictas have picked the urn up. Now, there's this math behind the urn. Basically, if you're more than 10% behind, the urn is on your side of the field. And when you're like in the 10 to 20% behind, you take that urn, you deliver it, it's on your side, it's going to be easier for you to fight, it's going to be easier for you to retreat. But when you're 50k behind, it's irrelevant. These Lashes are just going to, you know, contest the urn. Are the Lashes coming? They're a little bit out of position. The Vindicta group is right there. Are they going to be able to come in? Yeah. I do love hearing the quotes as well. Yeah, 1 big pick coming in there. And that's going to be enough for Shrines. I am pretty certain. Is it going to be enough for Patriot? One of the Lashes is grabbing the urn. He's like, nope, I did not have enough for Soul Lead. I just need 1 more urn. But yeah, Shrine's certainly gone. Patron's certainly gone. Is it going to be enough to force the win here? I think so. I mean, you have like a 65k Soul Lead. You have 2 of the Vindictas are going to be respawning too late. You have Refreshers be ready. You have 1 ult. I think this is it. I think the Lashes are going to be able to win here and pass forward. People have been begging for the Lash v Bebop game. Lash and Bebop are on opposite sides of the bracket, and they're advancing. Bebop is against Mo, and Lash is gonna be coming in. Lash v Bebop coming on. Hello, 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 Lashes. Occurs, you made us proud. Okay, quick question. Who do you think was the MVP of the game? You can name a person, you can name an item. Lash ult.
Lash ult, because every E shifts was just fucking ulting right back into it.
Yeah, didn't you hear those
You
dinner
pick
bells?
enemy up and stun them.
Yeah, I did love those ult into ult into ult. That was great. That made for great cinema. Hey Vince, I am sorry to see the loss. What do you think that the big problem was that you didn't reach those ethereal shifts and knockdowns on time?
Our team is refusing to buy it. Like, I was talking about it, but they're like, what's the point of dodging
had
one
it.
Lash ult if you're just gonna get Lash ulted in the end anyways?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
So it seems like some mistakes were made. I checked after the game. One of the Vindictas bought a glass cannon, which is interesting choice in that game. Regardless, now there's a losers bracket, so Vindictas can still rise to the top. And I hope you guys like, subscribe, join our Discord, and I'll see you in the next game.